Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm still dressed like this. I still do. I still dress like this, okay? Welcome to episode 16 of the Tim Weichselbaum Show. Yep, I'm still going. I haven't given up yet. Life. Let's not get into a whole fucking diatribe about life. Let's just start with what I had planned. It is the 1100th day. No, it is 111 days into my sobriety from alcohol. Alcohol. I don't know. I guess the question is, do I miss getting drunk all the time and having fun? Yeah, kind of. I guess. Has my life improved since I stopped drinking? Not really. I wasn't even spending money that much on alcohol when I was drinking. I would just drive people around, be the designated drunk driver, and then other people would buy me drinks because they appreciate that I'm the one driving. And then I would total my car, and they would go, "Well, that was a party. That just killed the mood of the night." And then a month goes by, and I get a new car, and then I haven't gone back to drinking since then. It's not like a cyclical thing. It's not like I'm wrecking multiple cars and just not changing my life at all. It affected me. That's why I quit drinking, because I didn't like what it did to my judgment. I didn't like that it made me just go up to people that I would normally never talk to and pretend that I want to be friends with them or something. Like, "Hey, what do you do? Hey, you look cool." Not really. Are other people cooler than me? Very fucking rarely. I'm pretty much the coolest person I know. I'm hip into shit. I'm into the cool shit. I knew about shit before other people knew about it. I knew about crypto cats and fucking Bored Ape Yacht Club and Justin Bieber. I was cooler than him. I'm cooler than him. Justin Bieber doesn't even drive his own cars when he gets drunk. He has to fucking have other people drive him around because he's afraid of, like, ooh, I don't want to kill somebody and have it go on the news the next day. And then my clout goes down the drain. I'm no longer respected in the game, which he would be, because if Justin Bieber kills somebody, we would still like him. I mean, it's not an end-all, be-all just because you murder somebody if you're like a celebrity. Like, what's that famous guy who killed his wife? He killed his ex-wife and the boyfriend that was fucking his ex-wife because she was, I don't know if they were divorced yet at the time or whatever the fuck happened with that, but he murdered her. And he's still kind of respected. We still like him. OJ is still, because he's a beta. I mean, because he's an alpha male. If you go on a fucking murderous rage and kill your fucking wife, as long as you have a good personality and you have a following before it happens. If you don't have a following, then you're a fucking loser. You're just gonna fucking rot in jail for the rest of your life. Never go on parole. But OJ he was loved. He was a lovable figure before he murdered somebody. So he didn't even go to murder. He didn't even go to jail for that. He went to jail for some other bullshit. And he only was in jail for what, 5-10 years at the and that was a quick 10 years. That was a sneaky fucking 10 years that went by. It was like after 9/11 and nothing happened in the 2000s. After that, what happened in the 2000s? 9/11, Friends ended, and Steve Irwin died. That was it. Couple good movies. That's about it. We elected a black person. That was good. I didn't vote for him. Not that fucking liberal, but I supported him. And look what happened since then. Now there's a bunch of dickheads running around being crypto millionaires who would have never been millionaires if it wasn't for Elon Musk. If it wasn't for just not porn. If it wasn't for drugs and the people that like doing them, and this brings me right back to what I started with, which was drinking and quitting booze. Without the black market for drugs, there'd be a lot less millionaires, a lot fewer millionaires, to be grammatically correct, in this fucking great world that we have, this decentralized world, which is a good thing that you could just send $1 million to somebody without a bank knowing about it. I don't know. Sorry. I just did something. I hit a button on my mouse that's like making it so I can't move it as easily. All right. So anyway, 11th. It's my 11th day of not drinking, and I'm pretty fucking miserable, dude. Like that's the thing about when you quit, when you try to like turn over a new leaf, and you're like if you're like an addict. You're gonna fucking throw that out the window and go right back to your bad ways, even harder than when you left them. And to get, like, I'm a very philosophical person, and that's why, and I get why people drink. It's not everybody drinks. Some people are fucking too ignorant to have to drink because they think that life is good, or maybe they just have it good and they don't really need to numb their existence with alcohol. The smart people usually do need to numb their existence with alcohol or do something that fills the fucking hole, which is going to be nothing. There's nothing that fills the hole besides a chemical. I mean, what are you going to do? Just like take it out on exercise or like something healthy? Yeah, no. Maybe for like 2 days. And then you got to realize that, no, it needs to be like a chemical thing, because my brain is the problem. My brain needs to be like fucking manipulated by something very powerful to make me think positively, because otherwise I'm going to see things for how they really are. Because turns out my brain is actually acting correct. Like, it's kind of correct to be an addict. Who just fucking goes through life every day? Like, the tide comes in, the tide goes out. I'm just going to set a schedule. Every day I do this. I wake up, I exercise, I make a coffee, and then I go to bed at 9 p.m. because I'm satisfied with what I did in the day. I've never done that before. I've never gone through my day and felt satisfied enough at the end of it to just go to sleep. It's like, that's it? No, that's a fucking, you're accepting a loss if you do, like, that's not a victory. The only way I would go to bed at the end of the day is if I can't even think. I don't know. If I make $10 million, fuck 10 different women, and have it go, and then have a tweet that goes viral of me fucking I can't even think of a scenario where I would want to just end the day like satisfied with what I did. No, I'm hungry for more. I'm always hungry for more, and that's my problem. That's why I'm an addict. And that's why I eat, because I'm literally hungry. It's not even a figure of speech. Like, I'm hungry for something, and that turns out to usually just be food. But we'll get more into that. I don't know. I'm going off the cuff here. It's just that people who are addicted to things, it's not just a chemical thing. It's like when you get rid of the booze, it's like, it's not like your life gets better. The booze was there for a reason. It was solving a problem. So has my life improved since I've not been drinking? Maybe no. I haven't killed anybody with my car. That's a good thing. That's a positive. So in the sense that I'm staying out of danger and not putting other people's lives in danger, that's a positive. But has anything filled it that's healthy? No, I've been eating food. I've been trying to save money. So I still haven't paid my taxes for 21 for the previous year, which was like a wind tunnel of money. I made like a shitload of money last year, and that has changed my it was like a life-changing amount of money. And so I haven't really like adapted to that change in lifestyle. I mean, I guess I have. I very easily adapted to it by buying a bunch of fucking junk that I don't need. But I haven't fully gotten used to that. I want to be used to having that kind of money, but I haven't gotten used to the part where I have to pay taxes and it's just like a very, very non-typical, non-conventional way of making money. I made it from this newfangled technology, and you have to really track the taxes. You have to know if you're doing it right with the capital gains, and I had to hire all these fucking accountants and lawyers to tell me if I was doing it right, and I still don't even know if I am. I fucking hope so. I'm ready to just pay the fucking money to the government so I can move on and stop worrying about it, like getting audited. If some asshole from the IRS decides that I need to be audited, I'll fucking bring it on, bitch. I'll tell you I'll show you all my receipts. If you really want to fucking look into it, okay, where did this money come from? Strangers on the internet. That's the best I could do. Can I actually find out who these people are that paid me? No. Not even Superman would be able to find that out. So is that good enough? Oh, you're not going to let me keep it? Well, you're just the IRS. So all you could do is tell me what I owe you, and I'll fucking pay it. I already have an idea for what it comes out to. It's 20% of what I may, of the net, of the gross. The net, it's the fucking net is what matters. Gross receipts, gross income is not important. It's minus expenses that matters. So everything that I spent on business expenses does not count towards what is taxed. So just tell me what I owe you so I could fucking go back to blowing my money on hookers. I don't like having to call these hookers or tell them, hey, I know that we have a routine. I know that I usually fucking blow $1,000 on you once a month, and I haven't been reaching out. Well, it's because it's tax season, and I'm trying to be a little bit more conservative with my fucking expenses, okay? Has my dick been missing your fucking professional services? Yes. And have I been relying on you for basically the only human touch and interactions for the past 6 months? And do I use you as therapy more than I use you to fucking sex to empty my balls? Yes. And is that mostly what I need now? Is just the human connection more than the sex? And is that really what the money is worth and why it's worth so much? Yes. Could I get that from anywhere else? No. Could I just go to the nearest, I don't know, fucking wherever people go to socialize and get the same thing that hookers give me? Hell no. Hell no. That's why that's why it's worth every penny. And do I know that you aren't really actually interested in me? Yeah. Do I care? Fuck no. Because you humor me. You could let me talk to you about anything, and you're nice about it. That's why I pay you $1,000 for 3 hours. Not even 3. Sometimes it's only 2 hours. Better than therapy. Would I pay a therapist the same amount if she also gave me a good blowjob and gave me good therapy? Probably not, because she would charge a lot more. And I don't really need that. I don't need you to be that good at therapy for me to spend $1,000. I'm more doing it because you're not giving me advice. I don't really want to change my life around. I don't believe in that. I don't even believe in like self-betterment. It's like you could have some good days and you could have good months even where you go on like a fucking like a pattern of like, oh, I'm improving myself. But you're gonna go right back to being a dickhead eventually. So just stop pretending that you're gonna become a fucking good person. It's not gonna happen. So that's why I'm still dressing like a dickhead. I don't know why I bought all these Versace shirts and glasses and whatever. I do, but like I started to, like I got like last night I was like, why did I buy all that stupid Versace clothing that makes you look like a rich douchebag? It's like, well, I guess I wanted to look like a douchebag. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just want to look like a fucking normie. I don't want. Why advertise that you have disposable income? That is the dumbest thing to do. That is people will happily rob you. But I'm a Jew, and it's very hard to part a Jew from their hard-earned money. So I'm keeping all this shit. Yes, it was a dumb thing to buy, but I could do it. It's called disposable income because it's disposable. You could get rid of it and still be fine. But when it comes to paying for other people, like, it doesn't mean I'm generous with my money at all, dude. Like, I would do something that appears generous, like I would start a comedy club and pay comics, but that benefits me way more because it gets me hard because of the power trip that it allows me to, and because it allows me to sexually harass people and get away with it very easily. And if I don't get away with it, big deal. Just don't come. Don't come to my fucking comedy club. If you and just okay, free press is any press is good press. I don't think it works that way actually for every business, but that's the thing. It won't be a business. It'll just be a hobby. And it won't even be tax deductible because it's like the IRS doesn't consider all businesses tax deductible if you're not like making enough profit. They'll just be like, that's a hobby. You can't write off any of your expenses anymore because we see that you're really bad at business. So yeah, we're not going to let you do that. But I was like, yeah, okay. I don't care. It's a hobby. Yeah, it is a hobby. So I don't give a fuck if nobody comes, dude. Yeah, I'd rather just sell the fucking pickaxes to the people who are trying to make it. I don't really care about becoming a success myself anymore. Everything is just a hobby now these days for me. Like, I don't really give a fuck. My business is over. I started a successful business a couple years ago. But anyway, so I don't know. I keep like spending a lot more time on these topics than I plan on doing. Why? Why do I have to stretch out every little fucking thing? I'm not getting paid to do this. This could be 15 minutes done. But okay. I don't know. I don't like wasting time. I don't like dead air. I don't like not putting high quality thought into what I'm saying. But the point is, I got my life figured out right now. I got assets. I got finances that I'm stable as fuck. The only thing that's not stable, the only thing that's like bad about my life right now is that it's empty. Is that it's completely socially bereft. I have no social interaction right now, and I'm mentally unhealthy. Like, I'm depressed. And I have I don't take care of myself that much as I could. Like, at least I'm somewhat cleansed. I still take showers. I still vacuum. I still do my laundry. Thank fuck I'm not like suicidally depressed yet. I mean, that would suck. I have a lot to live for. But that's the only downside. And so, well, what is missing from my life? I have resources, so what am I doing with them? Just letting them fucking rot in my garage? Like, no, dude, it's time to let a woman come and fuck it all up. Why not, dude? Hey, it's time. See, that's what successful men do when they're successful and they have nothing else to do. And they're like, well, I could just continue being single, successful, and just live just lay out on the beach and drink Mai Tais all day. Or I could let somebody come into my life and fuck it all up and remind me why the fuck that was a bad idea. Hey, you know what? I have reason. It's time I learned a lesson because my life was going so good. Hey, how about I do something that teaches me a good, valuable lesson? Because there's no reason not to just, I need to be talked out of it at this point. And I'll just, talk myself out of it before I do it. But I don't know, when it's just boredom. That's what creates bad situations in successful men's lives, is just boredom. It's like, well, I could not go out and crash my car, might crash my Tesla that's less than a year old, and just continue living a safe life. Or I could let spontaneity teach me a valuable lesson. And now, since it's been a couple months, and I have all my fingers, and I'm a man, and I like to take risks, let's do something again. Let's do another thing that's going to teach me a valuable lesson. And that lesson will be definitely involve crazy pussy. Like pussy that's like the kind that you should not fuck. That's like a bullet that I did not dodge. Like this is the type of pussy that most people, if they, meet them, would be like, well, that chick's crazy. I'm not going to fuck them. Now I'm going to go into that quicksand and be like, hey, I know that you're crazy. Like, there's definitely some red flags. But hey, I got room for error. I got some marginal space that could be, given to some crazy. But it's never... Sometimes it's so crazy that, it's exciting. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, let's let this crazy woman into my life, and then it gives you this pump of adrenaline, and it makes you want to, go even crazier because it blinds you, because it's exciting it just takes you out of the mundane routine that you were in before. So it's like, oh, this is fucking fun. You get that adrenaline. You get that, whatever the fuck it is, oxytocin, dope, whatever fucking chemical it is. I get it. I get why men like me, normal, intelligent, successful men, go down the road of getting married to some crazy bitch. It's because it gives their life meaning. Even though it's bullshit, it's not real meaning. It's definitely a net negative in the long run. But the sex is so good that in some disproportional sense, it is kind of worth it. I'm just saying, not financial. It's not worth it in many ways. But pussy there's a reason it's such a high in demand resource. There's something special about pussy that kind of offsets everything else that's bad about it. It's not a net positive, no matter how you slice and dice it. You lose money. You lose face. You look. You like it. It fucks with your pride when it falls, when the Jenga tower falls over. You do feel like an asshole, and like when they walk away with your money, and they go, "What the?" You feel like completely ripped off, like you just got mugged. But at least you got pussy out of it, dude. At least you got your dick wet. Like, as long as you got some good pussy out of it, and it was better than the last pussy that came before, and it, like, as long as you got some good memories of the sex, you really only live once, is what I'm saying. So, as long as you come out of it intact, like Bill Gates, that's a little bit different, because I think he did have like a good marriage for some part of it. Like, I'm sure, like, and he came out of it still a fucking multi-billionaire. Oh, big deal. Some woman is now also a multi-billionaire, and she's just going to use it for whatever. I mean, is that really a big deal? Not really. I mean, I don't really think every billionaire has to be a man. I would like for at least one of them to have earned it themselves, these women billionaires, but so far none of them have done that. But I mean, why would they? To be a billionaire, to be a self-made billionaire, you kind of have to be a man, because we can't. I mean, we are hungrier for that type of long-term mass success that comes only from doing something very, very smart for the first time ever. That's what every billionaire ever has done, is created something brilliant for the first time ever. And most women don't have that sense of that's not what they're hungry. It's not what their goal is in life, to just be a fucking business person. That's just not what they care about. And also, if they did, they would probably not be very attractive, because it's weird. I guess being a woman distracts you from that type of goal, because you could just get a man to pay for everything. It's like living with parents that give you shelter for free. It's like, well, yeah, I could work at a fucking McDonald's, work at a coffee shop, work my dick off to maybe afford rent with a bunch of roommates, and I'd be living on my own. But what's the point? My parents pay for everything, and they're going to do that into my fucking 40s until they die. And when they do die, I'll just get all their money anyway. That's what being a chick is. That's what being a woman is like, except into their 40s. Well, I mean, okay, let's not go crazy. A hot chick. That's what the life of a hot chick is into their 40s. And as soon as they hit 35 or whatever, and then they're not as attractive anymore, they have to actually, do something else. That is a tough position to be in, and I don't envy that thing about life, about how it punishes women who have it good up until their 30s by being, a commodity, something that's traded on the open market, to all of a sudden your value just plummets. It just plummets. And where does your money come from? Well, you got to find a dude to pay for. You got to do something. Or, like, what do you do? Get it, like, just work a job. And that's not what women are meant to do. They're meant to raise kids. I don't know, man. We got to go back to we need Jesus, is what we need in this world. And I will gladly, not marry, but I would gladly hook up with a nice Christian woman, and I would go to church only to meet other Christian women, though. So I would basically just go there to be like a fucking dirtbag swinger who just fucks around with other women. But that's just society, what that allows me to do. If this was the world of the 50s, the good old times, back when it was looked down upon to be polyamorous or whatever, polygamist, whatever, I guess I would only have one wife for the rest of my life. That would suck, dude. I don't know, man. I guess we're at a good time where you could pick and choose what you want. Like what you want, what lifestyle you want to do. You could just swing around, just fuck around, hook up, and never see people again. Or you could get married and get divorced a fucking month later. and then give half your money. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, everything's going so good right now, and I have an excess of goodness that, like, I'm ready to throw it down the drain, at least for like a couple months, if it's worth just for the sex. I'm saying, like, I would obviously exchange it for sex. That's what I'm saying. I'm not just gonna do it out of charity. It's like, hey, yeah, you could like not be a simp. It's like just like date a bunch of women and like pay for their meals and not get sex from it. Are you nuts, dude? But anyway, like, I don't know. I already talked about a lot of stuff that was not on the list of fucking topics to talk about, dude. I got junk mail. I hate junk mail because, dude, I get all these fucking magazines, these coupon magazines. Like, go fuck yourself. It's a waste of paper, dude. And I might get something in the mail that I actually need, that's like important for taxes or something, and then I might miss out. I might accidentally throw it in the garbage because it's in between all these bullshit magazines. I got this fucking piece of junk mail that says, hey, want to refinance your car payments for your Tesla? Like, fucking, hey, asshole. I'm not financing I don't have car payments on my Tesla. I paid for it in cash. So I want to call them up and like punch them in the face. Like, I want to go up to whoever fucking sent this to me and go, hey, dickhead, you see that Tesla out there? It's paid off, bitch. I don't know, man. It just pisses. How the fuck do these people know that I have a car? It's just public record that I have it's just public record, and I didn't even get a loan. I guess it's maybe because I applied for a loan, and they just tell everybody, the whole fucking cabal of lenders just tells everybody, yeah, dude, this asshole needs a loan. My Miata, that is not paid off because I didn't want to fucking pay for cash for that one for some reason. I do want to pay it off though because I don't want to pay interest on it. I don't know, man. I'm very Jewish, and I'm very good at giving people advice on how to make money, how to save money, whatever. Because I'm good at, hey, I'm successful. So I should be. There's no reason for me to be not overconfident when it comes to talking about other people and what to do with their money. So, in other news, there was a winter storm in Texas this past week, and I was fucking nervous, dude, because there was one a year ago that was like super bad. Like, people lost power and water for like a week, and that was like, it was horrible, dude. People had to like, everyone had broken pipes, like frozen pipes that had to be repaired, and like water damage, and like, that was before I lived here. Now I actually live here, and I have a fucking house that could might have to deal with issues of that nature, and I wouldn't know what to do if my pipes just burst and there's water fucking leaking all over the place. I wouldn't know what to do. I barely know how to even shut off my water. So that is like something. I was nervous, dude. I was like fucking paranoid. I was like, what do I do? And it came, and it wasn't it was not that bad, dude. Like, nothing happened. The power didn't go out, which is awesome. I'm very happy that it was a non-issue. We're not out of the woods yet. There could be another winter storm. We're not out of the woods. But people were freaking out about it. They're like, you got to prepare. You don't want to. It was really bad last year, and fucking Greg Abbott, the governor, he's not gonna do shit about it. And Ted Cruz, don't rely on him. It's like, it was fine. And Ted Cruz, I look up to him. He was right to leave the fucking state. Like, just because he's the senator, he has to stay. Like, just because he represents us, he has to. No, he's better than you. Like, you could have left too, you fucking loser. It's like, just because you live in the same state as the representative, he has to stay in it when it becomes shitty? When the weather doesn't. No, fuck that, dude. If there's a better place than Texas, and Texas becomes uninhabitable, like, yeah, we're gonna fucking leave, dude. We're not just here out of like fucking because we love the state that much. It's not that fucking good. I mean, it's not. I mean, come on, look where it is in the country. It's right next to Mexico. We could do better than that. I would move to the Cayman Islands in a second if Texas turns to shit. I'm already thinking about it, dude. Like, yeah, it's all relative, dude. Like, Texas is good compared to fucking where I came from. Compared to Chicago, it's pretty fucking nice, dude. I haven't had to wear a mask since I moved here. Nobody gives me shit about not caring about vaccines or whatever. But there's better places than this, dude. There's fucking tax shielded places. Like, what do you call it? Where you're like a tax. I'll think of it. A place you go, like a tax shelter. There's fucking tax shelters like Portugal, dude. I heard Portugal does not charge taxes on capital gains from cryptocurrency. I'm already thinking about moving there, dude. I don't give a fuck if I don't know anything about the culture. I don't need to know fucking Portuguese, dude. If I go there as a fucking rich guy, they'll speak English for me. I don't fuck them. And that place is not anywhere near Mexico. So I survived the winter storm. I survived everything so far that life has thrown at me in the past few months. I got COVID twice in the past year. I survived it very easily, like a badass. I'm a badass, dude. I bought 3 cars in the past year. I crashed one of them, deleted it from existence. Bought a better one that I don't like to drive because it's too fancy, which I talked about already enough. I like it, though. I do like it. It's just not practical, like parking it. Anytime I park it, I try to avoid scraping the rims because the rims alone are probably worth like fucking $20,000. So if I scrape up against the curb, well, you just caused thousands of dollars worth of damage. So it's not practical, but I feel cool driving it, and I could easily die in it. I don't know. I like that. I bought it because it's like super dangerous. Like, all it takes is one microscopic mistake to completely fuck up my life because it's so fast. And that danger, me wielding that responsibility, encouraged me or convinced me to buy a fucking gun. So I was like, well, there's no way a gun is more dangerous than this car. A gun, just don't point it at anybody. You're not trying to kill. Just don't put your finger on the trigger when you're not using it, and you're probably going to be fine. Just don't do anything really dumb that's like fucking common sense, and you're probably going to be okay as a gun owner. Don't leave it lying out around when you have kids. Oh, I don't have kids. Well, hey, there you go. That solves that problem. And so I got the gun, and that thing, yeah, it's nothing compared to having that car. You got to live on the edge, dude. You can't just be afraid of everything, dude. So anyway, shout out to Matt Perez for texting me today and saying, where's the podcast? Because without him, I don't think I'd be doing this today. So thank you for the encouragement and the reminder to be like, stay focused. You're not doing, because sometimes your mood or if you're not getting external, if nobody interacts with you for like a month, if months go by and you get no positive reinforcement from anybody in life, which has been my current situation, it could be hard to keep going, because this thing does not pay me anything. And if anything, all it does is expose me to negative things. Like me talking about how I don't like other races, how I don't like women, how I, want other people to like die. That's not going to get me good press. So there's really no benefit to doing this except that it makes me feel good, kind of. I do feel good whenever I do it, but there's really nothing I'm getting out of it. So that's why it is tough. Like, to monetize this, are you kidding me? It's like, okay, so this is... Like, can you imagine who would pay to advertise on this? Besides neo-Nazis, they don't need advertisement. Neo-Nazis are doing pretty well when it comes to publicity right now. Like, they don't need advertising. All they got to do is go in public and wave a fucking Nazi flag, and everybody will talk about it. That's fucking awesome. Like, the only bad part is that they're Nazis and they have to like actually like stand. They actually have to like be Nazis. That's the only negative from being a Nazi, is that you have to like defend the ideology. But aside from that, it's a pretty good organization to be in terms of like hype and free publicity. You don't gotta fucking pay a cent to advertise. So there's something to be said there. Maybe I should I'm not going to become a Nazi just for the free advertising, but pretty hard to resist. Like, if you're just an alt-right, if you're just like, okay, I'm not a Nazi, but I identify, like, I am into whatever the alt-right is into, which I don't even know, like, what that would be. Like, okay, just somebody who is just like somebody who's just like wants the white race to continue living. Like somebody who's like anti-white genocide. Like, okay, let's just say I'm one of those guys. Let's do it. Let's get some publicity out of that. Like, ooh, there's this fucking there's this was what do you call him? A white supremacist who lives in Austin, Texas, and he has a podcast where he talks about how he wants the white race to not get, murdered or turned into a, genocide, like whatever, erased from the planet. Let's fucking talk about him. Okay. Thank you for talking. Thank you for giving me free press. Now, buy my NFTs. Like, I don't know, man. There's got to be more NFTs that are racist, Because I've been getting into NFTs and I haven't bought any. I still think they're like a scam, and most of them are a complete waste of money. You're probably not going to profit unless you're really good at it. It's like a fucking full-time job being an NFT investor, because you really have to be following the hype, and it changes so quickly, like the wind blows. And so you got to be young, you got to have energy, you got to be a button, you got to be so fast to gobble up these new NFTs that it's like not even worth the effort. If you just buy a fucking boring NFT that no one cares about, yeah, it's probably just going to go nowhere. And if you want to sell it, you're going to sell it for a loss and blah, blah, blah. I could talk about NFTs for 8 hours. And I don't want to, because it's exhausting and it's fucking boring, dude, but it's exciting. And I am obsessed with them. I have dreams about them. I go to bed and I wake up and I realize that, holy crap, all I've been doing the whole time I've been in bed is just dreaming about NFTs and how they're so technical. Like, there's so much to think about with them. There's so much avenues for thought when it comes to these things. But most of them are bullshit. And I'm waiting for a cool one to come about. I'm waiting for one that's like made by 4chan. I want one that they are excited about, because 4chan is really good at setting new trends and at creating memes. Oh my God, dude, there's so many memes that 4chan is responsible. Like the white power sign. They invented that, dude. Like, man, so like, but I'm living in a vacuum, dude. I need to get, like, I haven't even gone out to do anything, to go to a comedy show, to just like, so I don't know what people are talking about right now, but I assume there's a lot of hack comedians talking about how NFTs are stupid. And like, I'm smarter than that. All these Zoomers with their NFTs, man, that's whack. I bet that's what most comics are talking about. Like most hack comics are talking about, because it's just what people are. It's the zeitgeist. I don't know, man. Like, it's too big of a thing to just write off. Like, yeah, most of them complete pump and dump scams, but it's a technological paradigm shift that could lead to actual functional utility. And it's really interesting. It just makes my gears turn, but also makes me kind of cynical, because it really is a lot of bullshit on top of bullshit. Like the crypto NFTs are built upon something that's another thing that's negative. It's shaky. It's on shaky foundations, because it relies on the blockchain, and the blockchain really doesn't have much utility except for it stores value in a way that doesn't involve banks. That's about it. It doesn't really solve any other real world problems yet. And all this energy is being consumed, and NFTs are built upon that foundation. And the further you go up, and then there's these projects that are just so pathetic, so sad, because of the cult mentality behind them. Like, if you actually look into NFTs on a more than super, like, if you actually look into the projects that are coming out every fucking day, there's 1,000 new projects every day, because of course it's easy to just cut and paste an NFT. All you do is just copy somebody else's contract, upload your own bullshit JPEGs that you made with Photoshop and a script to make 10,000 unique NFT JPEGs. It's super easy to do. Anyone can do it. So there's all these projects that are built 100% on hype, because of course there's no real value in a JPEG. There's no value in that. It's all based on, there's a market for it. That's it. It's an artificial market. So it creates this commoditized value token. Everything's tokenized. Everything that could be anything, it has a market to it now, thanks to the technology of NFTs. But it doesn't really solve any problem. All it does is create an artificial market. So it could go away overnight just as quickly as it came about. And the ones that hold value only hold value because they still have just as much hype. Like the Bored Ape Yacht Club is the most valuable NFT only because it has the most hype. There's nothing about it that's intrinsically better. It just came first. CryptoPunks, that just came first. It came about in 2017. You could have bought a CryptoPunk for, I don't know, $1, however much it was when it first came out. And now it's worth like $100,000, if not more, like millions for just a little 16 by 16 piece of artwork, a fucking tiny little pixel art. And so people that get hyped for these projects and they go, oh man, this is the next big NFT, and if you don't buy now, you're missing out. And we're building the future in this, and we're going to have a metaverse. So if you buy this NFT, oh my God, and you have to suck the admin's dick of the people who release it to get whitelisted so you have the privilege of buying it first. And it's like, okay, you get the privilege of buying this first in the hope that it goes up and you could flip it for like, I don't know, 10 times what you put in. And that's exciting for those people, but it's not exciting for people like me who are drawn to crypto because of the actual problems, the real world problems that it solves. So I have yet to purchase an NFT. I don't want to. Every day that goes by that I don't cave and purchase an NFT, I take that as like a win. I take that as like, okay, you just earned your 10-day sobriety chip of not buying an NFT. Congratulations. There's no reason to buy one. I don't like short-term gain. Anyway, I could have already made 30% on my investments that I made in the past month. 30% is a lot, but I'm not looking for short-term gains. I'm looking for long-term gains. I've been in crypto since 2011. Okay, let's talk about that later. A lot of talk about. I always think that there's not going to be anything to talk about on this fucking podcast, and like there always is. There's always more than an hour of stuff to talk about per week. So, am I hungry? Yes, I'm still very hungry for life. It's just that I'm also a little bit afraid of it too. I'm so bored, and I haven't been getting my rocks off like I used to by getting drunk and going to comedy, doing comedy. Reckless. It's just like so I've been getting food delivered still and getting fatter. I don't look bad. You can't see it on my like I'm not really fat. I look pretty good, but like it's my chest, my belly is starting to get bigger, and I'm gaining like a pound every day because I'm going down this degenerate path of getting food delivered every fucking day because I can. There's nothing stopping me. And that's really a downward path that I'm going down. And it's very difficult to break that routine. No matter how much I tell myself I'm not going to do it, I always cave because it's just so fucking boring. Like I said, to just go to bed without doing something unhealthy. Like, oh, I'm just going to go to bed without doing any damage to my health. I'm just going to not eat 5,000 calories and feel like I like absolute crap for a few hours. Why? What's the point of that? Who am I, Mr. Rogers? Am I a saint? Am I like a fucking priest? Why am I preserving my good health for no reason? So that's what I've been doing. Yeah, like I need something to fill the hole in my life in order to go to bed. And I could just go right back to... No, I couldn't because I drive. I can't just... See, you can't be a drunk driver. That's something I can't just allow myself to do. It's not feasible. It's not legal. It's not practical. But I also can't get Ubers anymore. I don't live in a small spaced city where I could just take Ubers. it would be astronomically expensive. So I have to maintain my license, my car. I have to maintain the ability to drive. So how do I make use out of that situation that I'm in right now? How do I get pleasure out of being sober and doing comedy in a city that's extremely oversaturated with comedians? That is the conundrum that I'm facing, because I get really very little out of it anymore, is driving into the city about 20 miles or so, 20 minutes away from me, and then waiting 2 hours on average or whatever to do an open mic that's going to be probably pretty shitty. Like I'm like in front of other shitty like what am I going to get out of that? Not much. Like it just doesn't really get my rocks off to do that anymore. I'd rather just stay home and watch YouTube and jerk off and eat delicious food. So how the fuck do I maneuver this life to be productive? Because I'm not doing much at home. I'm trading crypto. That's it. And that takes very little time. If I was doing NFTs all day, yeah, that would be a thing. That would be something that would take up my time. But that's a bullshit waste of time. And so as somebody who made a success of myself, you know, how do I stay hungry for stand-up comedy? Because I am still hungry for that. I do miss just being able to access stage time in a very low friction way. Like being able to just show up to a place that has comedy, not have to wait 4 hours. That is something that I miss because I worked hard to get that, and it's now not available to me anymore. Now if I want to get stage time, I have to go up to some douchebag and be like, hey, can I sign up? They go, nah, you could go on the waiting list. They go, oh yeah, fuck you. Not worth it. I don't even really feel like I have much to talk about anyway. If I had like a lot of burning material to talk about, I guess I would go through that process because it's worth it. Like if you actually have something to talk about, but I don't. I'm very like, hey, yeah, what do I have to say? I made more money than everyone here, so my life is empty because I no longer can relate to people. I no longer can relate to anybody, and I don't have any friends, and I don't want to make new ones. So, but I do want to get laid. So who here wants to have sex with me? That's like that. That's not an act. That would not sell tickets. So that's my problem right now, is I need to figure out a new avenue for creativity, and I'm not just going to make NFTs. I do kind of want to make an NFT, like a project for NFTs, because that would allow me to express myself creatively. But it would be something fucked up. It wouldn't be like a legit one. I wouldn't like fucking try to like hype it and like get a Discord community going and be like, yeah, here's my NFT. No, it would just be the stupidest thing ever. Like something that takes less than an hour to make. And it would be in my it would match my personality. Like, I don't know, just like me, just like a dude in a Tesla getting into trouble in a Tesla. Something so stupid, something so monumentally stupid that you can't ignore it. But I am starting to crave personal attention, I'm starting to crave like social interaction, because I haven't gotten any in a couple months now. I've been living in my house alone, like a fucking weird fucking hermit. And like sometimes I feel like a loser for not having any friends, but then I remind myself that there's a reason I don't have friends. It's like I don't like people. They're like most people I can't stand. So it takes a lot of effort to find the ones that I actually like to be around. It really takes a lot of work. But it's been so long that like I probably will go out pretty soon just to be around people, and then I'll be like, okay, that was enough. Now I could go right back to living alone and being a loser again. But I'm not a loser just because I don't have a life. Just because I don't have a social life doesn't. There's a lot of people who don't have social lives these days, and they just live a completely isolated existence on the internet, and that's perfectly fine. I don't see a problem with that, dude. Like, now that the metaverse is becoming a thing, you just go on the metaverse if you really want to be a entity that interact. Like, I want to be on the metaverse. It just seems really lame and dumb right now. Like the Decentralized. I have Mana. Like, I bought Mana, and that one already. I could have made already a bunch of money on that if I just invested a couple weeks ago and sold. But I'm a long-term investor. But yeah, the game itself, like the metaverse itself, looks fucking dumb as fuck. It's nothing. There's nothing exciting about it. So it is boring being a crypto investor right now because there's really nothing to be excited about. There's no projects that are like, holy crap, that's the next Ethereum. That's the next Bitcoin. Or that's, they're all pretty fucking boring. But I'm still investing in them very slowly because I know that that's how you make money. This is everything I say on here is financial advice. And if I say something that leads you down, to lose money, you could sue me. I don't have any money. Like, all my money is in a fucking shell company in the Cayman Islands. So if you sued me and won, well, as an individual, I have about $5,000 in my bank account. So have fun with that. This house, it's not even in my name. It's in a company's name that I don't fucking have anything to do with. So I don't care if you sue me. Also, if you have enough money to sue me, you already have more money than me. So okay, so to end this up, to wrap it up, why am I an asshole? Well, it's in my nature. I say some pretty mean things sometimes, but also, I'm not actually a mean of a person. And also, if people know me as an asshole, like if that's my reputation, that I'm like a big old asshole, then the times that I'm not an asshole, I'll look like a fucking angel. They'll be like, oh man, I can't believe you're being so nice to me because I've heard so much shit about how you're a dick. I go, yeah. And then I'll feel really good for a couple minutes. I don't know. Like, I'd rather people remembered me as a tyrant than not be remembered at all. Like, have you ever thought about like how many people talk about Hitler, Mao, Genghis Khan, for fuck's sake, more than they talk about, I don't know, who's a good person in history, Mr. Rogers or like Gandhi? They only talk about because he was naked around young children or whatever. Nobody talks about Gandhi for doing anything good. They only talk about him because he was a fucking pervert. So I just realized, like, you know what? If that's what people remember you for is being a dick, that sounds like a reward for being a dick. It's like Hitler is the most talked about person on the planet. And you know who gets talked about the most is bad fathers, dude. If you had a father that left you or just wasn't good to your mother or like abused you, I'm not pro abuse, but like, hey, if you want to be remembered, that's a really easy way to get people to talk about you after you're dead. It's like, well, my dad, he was an ass. He was the biggest asshole. He fucked me. He's the reason I am a good person, is because he was such a bad person. Like, whoa, shit. Sounds like he was a good influence on you. Well, yeah, he was. Like, if you just had a boring father who just worked a everyday career and just gave you 3 meals, paid for your meals, gave you shelter, but that's it. You're never going to talk about him. It's like, yeah, my dad, he was around. I guess he was a good influence on me. Like, he never abused me, but there's no reason to talk about him then. I'm only going to talk about you if you were a dick. Like, there's so many people that are nice, were nice to me or whatever, like, in my life. It's like, do I care about them? No, I don't give a fuck about them. So that's why I've decided to start being an evil fuck. Not that I did. Now, I already decided that, but I'm going to do it openly now. Because life does not reward you for being shy and, even keel. You might as well just be addicted, because then people will talk about you, and then it'll give you an opportunity to not be a dick. And they'll be, hey, you're not so bad. People misjudged you. So I've been working out every day because I got this indoor bike, this indoor cycling machine. And it's fine. I hate doing it. I don't like exercising, but I always feel good that I did it. And so I ride about 10 miles a day on average. And it's not that bad. It takes about 30 minutes a day. That's it. It's 30 minutes and it's over. And so far, it hasn't improved my health at all. I don't feel any more energized. I don't feel any better. And I'm only gaining weight. I haven't lost any weight at all since I bought that thing. So anyone who says that you should exercise to improve your life because you're unhealthy or depressed, fuck those people. They don't know what they're talking about, dude. I started a business. So anyway, okay, we're wrapping it up on this. I'll get off my pulpit. It's been a good episode. I started a business a few years ago. So that's what I did to get where I'm at right now. Is I started a fucking app. And it took off immediately. Overnight, had 10,000 users. And that's not a lot compared to Twitter. But 10,000 users is a lot compared to pretty much anything in the world. If you make something that 10,000 people care about within 24 hours of it existing, yeah, you probably did a good thing. That's probably a success. Even if it's an NFT. If you get 10,000 people to care about your NFT, it's probably pretty good as far as NFTs go. So that's what I did about 4 years ago in 2018. And yeah, so if you get 10 users a day, the day after you put something out, yeah, it's probably not very successful. But this is the most successful thing I've ever done with my life thus far. So I'm a success because of that thing I did in 2018. So, and it was legit, it was a legit business, and I'm the first one to ever do it. And a lot of people copied me and impersonated me and blah, blah, blah. And so when the market is stagnant, that it didn't matter. I didn't give a fuck about what the market was doing, the crypto market. I was working my ass off on making this app better and smoother and smarter and make it handle more users. And so I was working my ass off. And so I earned every penny I made from it. It wasn't just dumb luck. I worked very hard. And I don't know what my point is with this, but I guess, so I wrote a big, long paragraph. So I didn't pay attention to the market on a day-to-day basis. I just made sure the app was still running. So the downside to actually working all that time on my own project is that I missed out on, other shit that was going on in the crypto sphere. Because I've been working on this thing since 2018, early 2018. So this is right after the big surge of 2017 And right after that crash, I was left without a lot of money. I did not have much money to my name. So I had to build this app to survive, and it didn't make me very much money in the beginning, but I stayed very focused, and it had the success of just to keep it going. And I was getting paid in crypto, and I did not spend any of the money I was making. So if I had just kept all the crypto that I had ever made and never sold it, I'd be a multimillionaire right now. And I sold a lot of it. And so the big lesson I learned in the past 4 years is you should really never sell a large chunk of what you hold in crypto unless you absolutely have to. You should definitely take profits here and there. But if you already have enough money in the bank to pay your bills for, I don't know, a few months, you shouldn't really be selling your crypto, because it always tends to go up eventually. I mean, there's some projects that die, for sure. There's thousands of projects that fucking die. But I just hate selling my fucking crypto, dude. I'm only going to sell if it's been over a year since I bought it, and if it's at such a high price that like the justification for holding is much harder to justify than if the selling pressure is just outweighing any philosophical reason to hold, then yeah, I will sell. You don't want to miss out on $10 million or whatever, however much I could have made by not selling. I mean, you do want to take profit if you have not 10 million in the bank already. So that was financial advice. Like I said, if you don't like it, good luck, because I don't have much assets to my name. So fuck you, and eat your vegetables, and keep drinking coffee, and keep holding offensive opinions. Don't cave to the woke, because we need them. We need Antifa. We need woke people to spread negative news articles about us, because they could give us a fucking platform. You can't take this from me. I could host this on the fucking blockchain, fucker. You can't cancel the fucking blockchain.